welcome to another episode of UnitedFanZone. Sorry we've been away for a little while, guys, but we are back today. I just want to get things kicked off with injury crisis again, it seems. What's your kind of take on that, Mikey? Is it the staff? Is it sending him out on too many games? Like, it seems like, again, like last year, that we're having a problem.
Well, everybody has like a weird injury that I don't think that it's to an accumulation of games. I think all in all, most of the people that have played in games that are international or whatnot, I think everybody's at like about 8 games from the start of the season, just about that participates in their home country.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's from that. I just think they're just a bunch of unfortunate injuries that's happening. Like Maz has his heart, which is always a delicate thing to deal with. Kobe came out of nowhere with that. 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 apparently is hurt out of nowhere. You know, like I don't think it's. I just think these are freak. These are just some freak injuries. But I still think we should be able to handle Brentford with who we have. You know.
Yeah, we should definitely be able to handle Brentford, but you know, I'm hearing now that 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀's out for the weekend. So that's another bummer. Especially with Maynu being out, so it looks like it's going to be Eriksen and Casemiro in the center of midfield. Zumbi, what's up, my man? Thank you for coming back in. But yeah, it hopefully it's not going to be like it was last year.
Zumbi, what's up, bro? What you think about the injury crisis? Real quick, holler at us. The first man in the chat. I want to hear from you, brother. Let me know what you think about this injury crisis and also who would you like to see on the weekend? Type that up when you get a chance. But yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I just think it's another thing of United. You know, just another injury crisis, and another kind of just another Man United. It just seems like it's the same thing over and over again with Man United. You know, we started the season off well when it comes to injuries, and now not everyone's going to be back till November. Hopefully he doesn't get injured again, but hopefully here it looks like 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 should be available not this weekend but the following weekend. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. But yeah, it's just one thing after another with Man United. You know, is either injuries or it's the staff, or is Ten Hag getting fired now that we know Ten Hag's staying.
Yeah.
You know, but the good news is I saw Mazraoui was back in training today.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I'm almost scared for him.
Yeah, like that's pretty insane that he's, you know, back in training already. You know, from what we were hearing, he was going to be out until November, but now he's back in training, which is something really positive going forward, because we're definitely going to need him. The center of defense, I think, as long as 𝗕 Ligt and Martinez can stay healthy, we should be right at the back line. I think those two need just a few more games to really get in the rhythm of kind of playing together. You know, Vidic and Ferdinand weren't exactly amazing when they first came in together. You know, you know they need time, and you know, with 𝗕 Ligt being in his first couple of months in a new league. So yeah, I think we'll be all right. Midfield's a little worrying for me. Wings, we're going to be fine. You know, we've got Ahmed. Is Ahmed injured? Or is he not?
I haven't heard anything. He might be. I haven't heard. But what I will say is, before not to cut you off, but the thing is, like, we can have anybody back. Like, we have this team isn't a bad team, right? Mm-hmm. We've gotten a lot of the deadwood out. These guys just have to decide to put it together.
Yeah.
And we need a play style from Erik Ten Hag. Like, like I said, I'm not Ten Hag out or in anymore. I don't know what to be. Because I don't know who I want to replace him with, especially now that 𝙈𝙍𝙀 is gone.
Yeah, and he was my number one choice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I want, right? But I also don't think it's out of. I do think Ten Hag could get something out of these guys if he finds a cohesive play style for them that utilizes their strengths.
Yeah,
and that's pragmatic and not going to. I know it needs to be scoring based. Like we're so worried about defending and strengthening our defense. The best defense to me is a strong attack.
Yeah.
That's just how if you're putting up goals and the ball spending time in their half, it don't matter. That's defense to me, So I would like to see that be more of the focus, and I think Ten Hag can still do it. It's just the clock is ticking, bro. We got the guys to do it.
Yeah, and for me, like, you're absolutely right, because you look at Arsenal, right? Arsenal don't have a striker, and they're still banging the goals in.
City won the league without a striker.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of, we don't have an excuse when we come to this. We need to start seeing more from Rashford. We really do. Like, without Rashford being on form, this team just doesn't know how to score. Rasmus Højlund's just coming back off injury. This is like his second game of the season if he starts. So we can't expect too much from him. Ząrski is not going to get. Yeah, Ząrski's not going to get you 20 goals this season. He's just not. He's not an out-and-out striker. But the one thing for Ząrski is, and the one thing I really wanted to see him in, was the 10, because I think he makes the team play better. I just don't think he's an out-and-out striker. I think we got robbed a little bit on a striker there, because I think he's the 10.
Back then, you guys were saying he should play the 10. I was like, nah, he should play. Yeah. Clear, you guys are 100% correct. He should definitely play. He should definitely play in that area, right?
Yeah,
and he should definitely be fed the ball, but also feeding people the ball.
Yeah, he's great at turning around.
Hybrid 9.5 role, right? Or just play the 10. It's cool. Let Bruno hang back and do his 8 thing. Play the 10, and then we have a 6 out there that's gonna hang back.
I want to see a 4-4-2 from Man United. I want to see Ząrski and Højlund playing up front together. I think that could be great, because if you continue to play how we're playing right now, things are not working. I think he needs to understand, like, we need to change this system. The system that I want, or the system that we're playing right now, isn't working. So we don't have an out-and-out striker. I don't think Rasmus is ever going to get us 25 goals a season. I just don't. So what do I want to see? I want to see those two playing up front together. You look at 𝗕𝙁 van Nistelrooy, right? As great as a striker as he is, he wouldn't have been half as good in the Premier League if it wasn't for Rooney or Scholes playing it behind him. You know what I mean? So have that ability to have kind of Bruno drop back a little bit. Have, ugarte or Mainoo play in that kind of defensive kind of area that Roy Keane used to play in, that allowed Paul Scholes to kind of play a little bit more forward. I really think that could work for this team. I just think he needs to find a balance within this team that he just hasn't found yet. And he's never going to do that, because the system that we're playing now doesn't suit these players.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though, man. It's like, that's been the kind of the talking point, the main talking point for all these managers here. Like, I remember when Pogba first got there, they were like, yo, let's find that thing, that player that can assist and help him. And then he's gone now. Bruno, like, we need to find who Bruno can unlock, and, and we need to find a play style that's going to center. And it's like, I think there needs to be a philosophy. I don't know what it is, and probably there is one, right? And we don't know, because we're just fans. We're just talking here. It's all speculation. But there's a lack of a philosophy there. Like, this is what we do. This is what we're good at. And this is what we're going to exploit and this is what we're going to try to do for every game, until the opposition shows us that they're not going, or we can't do something, right? Maybe a low block, maybe a team better than us, maybe a different play style, a different setup. We're going to try and do this for the first few minutes. And I feel like either at the beginning or at the end of a game, Man United gets it together. Okay? And what it's been is 30 minutes of good first half play, or shit first half play. 30 minutes of good second half play, or shit. Or, oh, you're starting to show it, and we're down 2 goals already. And now it's starting to click for you, and the passes are starting, but we're already down. Yeah. We're down now. The heads are dropped. The crowd's not behind us anymore. It's gone. So I would like to see a philosophy, and I just feel like Erik ten Hag is not driving these guys, but nobody in this chat, nobody in the world, whoever sees this, don't get it twisted. We have the talent. These guys aren't bums.
No.
So,
No, they're very talented players. Like, I would go, other than probably Anthony, they're very talented players. Like, I don't know why people hate on Mount. Fucking Mount's won more than this entire team put together. He's won the Champions League.
yeah, like, he just don't play though, bro. That's the thing.
He's always injured, and and
don't play.
Yeah, I know, but
we haven't seen his best because he doesn't play.
We haven't, no. And I hope, for Man United's sake, that this isn't a consistent thing to the end of his career, like a Johnny Evans thing. But our talent is there. What the Ten Hag needs to figure out is how to get all of these players, because all of these players are talented, but they're all talented in their own individual way. You need to work out a system, not just your system is, hey, you play good there, you play good there, you play good there. Okay, this system isn't going to work if we're playing those players there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he needs to make a few adjustments. My suggestion would be go back to a 4-4-2. I would play a 4-4-2 diamond.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. You got your defensive midfielder. You got your two wingers, who can, the wing backs can go forward, and then you have your two strikers up front. Especially when our goal difference over the last 2 seasons has been horrendous. So why not play a 4-4-2 diamond? Unless you're scared, if you don't believe in this defense that you have put together, there is no reason why a 4-4-2 shouldn't work.
My thing in the last 2 years, I think we've been, just as a collective, like all of us have been together streaming for about a year now, right? And, you came on a little later, but my biggest thing I kept saying was, hey, these guys aren't good enough. Yeah. Hey, these guys aren't good enough. I always started with the players. I always felt like the players weren't giving something. They weren't doing something. I still feel that way. I still feel like they're not giving their all, but I also feel like now it's more, I think they're just giving bad instruction. The instruction is bad. You can't see that gap. The whole world, every fan channel, every pundit, tactical that you could find sees that glaring hole in the midfield.
Yeah.
It's wide. You could drive a truck through it most times. And nothing's getting done to fix that. There's no structure. And I know Ineos sees it. So now I have to question is Ineos is like, hey, what are you telling? Because you said you were going to get more hands-on with it and give Erik ten Hag less of the reins, which I don't think is a good thing as a manager. I feel like that messes with your ego. Pep's not listening to Citigroup when he's coaching. He's just able to coach. So Arteta's not listening to the Cronkies when it's time to coach, right? And they're flying. Or, Arne Slot's not listening to FSG. I just need to see it, man. I think we have the guys. I think it's possible. And 4-4-2 is fine. I'm more with the 4-3-3. Okay, I want to exploit our pace up top.
Yeah,
I want to hang somebody back there in the hole, in the middle of the park, in the hole, to bubble wrap the defense.
Yeah,
and just and then you know what, guys, even that one person back there, you guys can shift and decide who's coming back to defend, who's going up to attack. To talk to each other and go as you go and put the passes together, but somebody come back and bubble wrap the defense. Even if we're playing a high line or we're coming up or we're playing a lot higher, we need that fifth man to recycle the play. I'm all right with that. That's Casemiro. That was Casemiro's role at Real Madrid.
Yeah,
was come up, play box them in, and you clean up everything from there, and then you could give us the occasional line breaking pass over the top.
Yeah.
You could find the space in between the keeper and the back line, and Ronaldo gets on the end of it somehow, or he fox in the boxes it. Something. But what we're doing, these guys, some of them, Bruno's too slow. He can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
He's not N'Golo Kante. He can't be everywhere. Casemiro's legs are gone. Eriksen, come on, man. The guy's been through a lot.
Yeah. He died on the field, but Zumbi said a good thing. 3-4-2-1. It's not a bad idea.
I'm cool with that. I'm not okay with what Ten Hag's been doing and this trying to play this spacious play when they can't keep the ball.
Yeah.
There's no urgency on the ball. There's times where you see it, right? There's times where there's these passages of play that are crisp. And you know what? We're so beat up as a fan base, bro, that we'll see like, ooh, wow, 4 passes came off.
Yeah.
Nobody lost the ball. Wow, this is football. And then we'll lose the ball and it's fine. But we're so intrigued and enamored by that when this should be normal. This should be normal. Being cohesive should be normal. Knowing your personnel should be normal.
Yeah. One of the things I point out in like watching the games is watching Man United like play out from the back. Now, my problem, like I love Onana as a goalkeeper. My problem with Onana is he slows the play down. Like he slows it down too much, and then by slowing it down, you're allowing the attackers to come on the press. So when the attackers come on,
instruction. Would you say it's by instruction?
Yeah, bad instruction. Like, hey, that's what the manager. See, that's another thing for me. Why the manager should be on the sideline pointing that out, like, or after the game pointing out, yelling. Yeah. But for me, it's like you play too slow from the back. You give it to the back, but you've also given the attackers and midfielders time to move up from the opposition, which now puts you in a jam. And then I guarantee you it happens on Brentford. Every person in this chat, and including you, what I want you to watch this weekend is Man United play out from the back. When that attack moves up to press, United panic. It goes, they play the pass too hard to one of the players, which is either not going to be able to control it, or they're going to give it back to Onana and he's going to hoof it up the field.
The thing is,
it happens every game. Like I watch it every single game. Like they're not quick enough. Onana needs to be quicker, getting the ball out to a defender, which allows the whole play to move up quickly instead of giving their attackers and midfielders time to get back and press our defense. It happens every game. Like I wish he could just get that ball out a little bit quicker.
That's why I think it's by instruction, because like in his first season, he was getting it to people very quickly.
Yeah.
And like it was times where the first pass he makes would be to the striker.
Uh-huh.
Striker has it down at his feet and it's like, oh my God, is he about to get an assist from back here? That was happening in the first season. And we're like, oh, okay, you figuring it out. Now I think it's like, all right, guys, come play out the back. Play out the back. Everybody gets a touch, or you touch it back, give it back to the keeper if you're in trouble. And it's like, that's cool and all. That'll work sometimes. Playing out the back works sometimes.
Yeah.
But we can't do it. You're 100% right. Let me read some of these comments here. So Blake, what's up, Blake? Shout out to Blake, man. That's my boy right there. That's ATL MUFC right there. Not me. Him. Not me. Blake says, man, here we go with another year of constant injuries. Oh, I feel like that's starting too. Zumbi 2000. Shout out Zumbi. Word, I think you're right, Mikey. Not ready to call it a crisis as much as a freak thing. Yeah, I don't think it's a crisis yet. KC, big up your blood clot self, says Wagwan. Zumbi 2000. And once again, honestly hoping to see Amas get some minute on the field. I'd start Collier, Casemiro, Eriksson in midfield. That you know what? I ain't mad at that. I'm desperate. Link up play for days. Zumbi again. Would fun to see them play together. Both play together. Blake Harwood. I think there's some slight adjustments. There are some slight adjustments I think could be made for Ten Hag's system. But what do I know, honestly? You know what, bro? I like that you said that at the end there, because that's how I feel. I'm like, you know what? I'm just some prick that's drinking a beer watching this game. But I think the whole world sees that there's a gap in that midfield that for the last 2 years, and it's been an issue. And I think I don't know if Ten Hag doesn't know what to do or how to remedy it. So I think 4-4-2 or diamond or 3-4-2-1. I'm with that. And at this point, I don't trust ETH to change or adjust anything.
The only thing I would say on that, I want to see what came out. Like, we all know that they had a big board meeting. All of the board were in there. We all expected Ten Hag to get fired. He wasn't. I want to know. I'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear what that board said to Ten Hag after that board meeting, because something must have been said. Like, they can't have gone back and said, hey, just carry on the way it is. They can't have done. the only way they could have said that is, oh, you've got 2 games. If you don't fix it in the next 2 games, you're fired. But I'm wondering if at least Jason Wilcox went back and said, hey, look, let's try this. Let's try that. I love to see it on set. I can't wait to see the lineup on Saturday morning. Honestly, Blake, I think you're right. I think he's going to come out with the same system. I hope he comes out with a different system, because it's coming out with a different system now is going to shock everybody. Hey, whoa. We didn't plan for this. United have been like this for 3 seasons. Whoa, we didn't plan for this. It's going to give us that edge, I think. Whether the players execute it or not is a different matter. But right off the bat, it's going to give us an edge. I don't see him doing it. I think he's going to be stubborn. I think it's going to get him fired. And one of the other things is I hope that when they come out of that board meeting was like, hey, these players, if they're not playing, it's your head on the line. You either drop them or it's you. Because that would be me. If I owned Man United and I went to Ten Hag, I'd be like, hey, I see these players not performing. I see you not dropping these players. I see people like 𝙍𝙀 that's just been brought on and sitting on the bench. I'm not telling you to play them, but if you don't change your system and you don't drop the players that are playing bad, it's not them getting fired. It's you. So I'm hoping someone in that board, obviously, it's probably going to be Jason Wilcox that does that, because that's kind of his job, and that's what I would do. I'd be like, it's your head on the chopping block. Carry on playing the same way you're playing.
Yeah, and we talked. Well, Tuesday, nobody's ever going to see that Tuesday show for reasons that I will talk about later. But Tuesday we kind of talked about the whole thing with Fergie and whatnot. And I would like to see, I got so carried away with that. These guys actually had a meeting. I would like to know, what, bro? I think as fans, we should get a chance to sit in on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it should be a town hall where like we're able, we spend a lot of money, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got all kinds of shit here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's not how corporations work. Of course, they're shrouded in secrecy and they're only beholden to the shareholder. And I understand that. But, I would like to know what has been said to Ten Hag, bro. Because
hey, I'm a shareholder.
They gave him, well, the real shareholders, the big shareholders, the huge ones, the ones that get, the bonuses and don't put it back into the club. Those guys.
Glazers.
They still exist and they still need to go. But you know what it is, bro. Like, I feel like they gave him Aston Villa, they gave him Porto, and he failed at both of those. Now, granted, I think not losing was good enough for them. Not losing, but it was like, oh, he didn't lose, guys. Like, but if we're going on a case-by-case basis, bro, just give him a date. Yeah. Give him a date and say, yo, in these next 7 games, we need to see we need this many points. If you can't get us this many points, it is what it is. I think you could grind out results if you have a points goal in mind. But if you're going from game to game to game to make a decision, your decisions you're gonna cool off. There's gonna be times where, like how right now, I'm cooled the hell off. I'm cooled up because we've had time. Yeah. So I'm not as angry as I was from when we just played Villa. I couldn't be bothered to even watch that game. Like, I had to watch it later. But like, I've cooled off a lot. My temperament has changed a lot. I think that happens to ineos too.
Yeah.
We need a points goal. Give them a points goal and say, this is what we want right now in the next couple weeks. If you can't get us anywhere close to that, because that way, at that point, if you don't reach a certain amount of games or like, wins or draws, it knocks you out of contention for getting that mathematically. So like, yeah, we know early you're not going to get the 19 points we need or the 18 points we need. So you got to go.
Yeah, I don't see him last unless something drastically changes. If he carries on the way he is, I don't see him being the manager on the 1st of January. I just don't. And I think that's too late, to be honest with you. I think bringing a manager in like the end of Christmas I think it's a bad move, because then you're giving the manager like, hey, no time to assess the squad, no time to say, hey, I need this, this, and this. But the good news is, from what I'm hearing, we're getting a left back in January, so that's good news. Let's move our attention away from the boys, though. What about the girls? They're flying right now, undefeated.
Flying. flying. And you know what's crazy? I'm a little bit upset with. I get it. Like they're not gonna get the coverage that they deserve,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like we gotta find a way to make this a little bit easier to watch, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get the league that they're in. It's hard for me to see like they they're playing a bunch of games now.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not just clear cut. It's on these weird days and weird times. So I gotta either get used to it or we need to increase the viewership to figure it out. But they're absolutely flying, bro. And we're still, yo, guys, once again, tap your homegirls and say, we're looking for a woman that could come in and speak football. Essentially, I would like for her to be a Manchester United fan and also be involved with the women's club so we could talk about this stuff a little bit more in depth. Because I'm
Yeah.
just now learning the players, now learning the coach, things
Yeah.
like that. But I'm really just keeping up with them as far as their results. But tap your homegirl. You know somebody that's a diehard fan that can come in and give us some insight on the game. We welcome that, bro. Just spread the word for us because we're looking for it.
Yeah. It's something that I've been, getting into. The females, watching them. I think it's great to watch. Obviously, you don't get that crowd atmosphere like you do with the guys, but right now, I don't care. Like, man, they're winning, and our men's team isn't.
Did you see their FA Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Like how packed it was.
It was. The FA Cup is usually packed. The game I watched before that, there was against Liverpool. When we beat them, there was barely that. But mind you, that was at Liverpool though. So watching at Old Trafford might be a little different. I know Nottingham Forest
have a nice showing at Old Trafford.
I know Nottingham Forest have a huge following when it comes to the females. I actually have some family members that are Forest fans, and they go to watch the Forest games. But I'll advertise on Tinder. Good luck with that one, Blake.
Let's see. We got it. Shut up, Blake. We got Tottenham. Tottenham won. Okay, so what was that? This was okay. So I'm kind of looking at from the FA Cup final. So they're unbeaten in the league.
Yeah,
unbeaten in the league. Let's see. I don't know what these must have been preseason games I didn't see. Once again, couldn't see the damn preseason games. Didn't know what they were on. But yeah, Women's League Cup. Beat Liverpool, beat Everton, beat West Ham. Would be top of the league. City is currently top of the league, which is wild. It's like, are you guys gonna win that too? Like, are you guys cheating too?
Probably.
Come on, man. Come on. But shouts to the girls, man. Shouts to love to see it. Love to see any red of any sort. May it be the youth team, the basketball team, the snooker team. I don't care. As long as you're wearing that red, I'm with you. So shout to the girls out there, man. Third in the Women's Super League for sure. What else we got, man?
Yeah, we've got Brentford this weekend. Let's talk about that. I will say this. Today I wanted to keep it kind of a short one. Because obviously with United being off for 2 weeks, we don't really have that much to go on. I'm not going to be like some Man United channels and become a blabbering idiot. But yeah, let's talk about Brentford. What do we expect from United going forward on Saturday? Do we? I know we just talked about it in some detail, but with the formation. But do we expect the players to start picking up, or do you start to see a better attitude from the players? What are you kind of pointing out though?
I don't like to touch the personal stuff. I'm hoping that we get the best out of these guys with the rest that a lot of them have been able to get. Right. I'm more optimistic now that a couple days have passed. We've gone a weekend without football, and I'm thinking now, and I don't want to be fooled by that feeling, but I'm a little bit more cautiously optimistic, and I always think we can win these games. That's the crazy part about it. I'm like, it's one I go out there and I start watching it, and I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? What are they doing? Why is and then it's like the belief gets sucked out of me very fast.
Yeah.
Like that first goal at Spurs, when Van de Ven makes that run and puts the ball in and it scores, that I just never thought we were coming back.
No, I was
I
deflated
never
after that.
thought.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good about it from there on. I'm like, oh, it's over. Then I heard them singing, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're up for it.
Yeah.
They're up for it. It's getting bad. So I always think we have a chance. I thought we could beat Spurs. I think we could beat Brentford. I think we could beat anybody on our day.
Mhm.
But when is the day gonna come? So what do I think is gonna happen? I think he's gonna go with the same lineup. I think he's gonna find a way to start Bruno. Of course, Bruno has to start. Doesn't matter how, because Bruno's playing good now.
Yeah.
But Bruno always plays good for Portugal because it's Portugal. It's Portugal. You one of the top 10 teams in the world. Where's Portugal? About like 7th, 8th in the world, something like that, by the coefficient.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
yeah. They're pretty up there. They're always
They're
in around the
stacked.
top 10.
They're stacked. They have world-class players.
Mm-hmm.
They're stacked. They have one of the greatest players of all time that plays for them. Still scoring. Yeah, so he's gonna look good. So Bruno's gonna play. I would like for him to play Rashford. I'd like to see a different Rashford. I like to see the Rashford I saw. I forgot what game it was where he was just going at guys, and not the Barnsley one, but he was just going at, and then we were kind of confused as why he was coming out, because he was actually doing well on the wing.
That was a Europa League game.
Yeah, I think he's had a couple games like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand his rotation because every manager rotates. But you don't take Rashford out when he's the best player on the field. Like, that's just, you're asking for to get sacked in that situation. Couple of comments. Oh boy, Cheeseman, Gunman has entered the chat. Blake, we should win 3-1, but we'll draw 1-1. Cheeseman, better player attitude is necessary, and also I hope that the lads are gelling and figuring out Ten Hag's mad strategies.
Ten Haram.
I hope the last 2 weeks while they've been off, they were sent to paintballing or something to have a team meeting and gel together, or whatever, bowling, whatever you need to do. Just figure it out, and stop. Do you know what I love about sometimes in American sports is, like, you'll see the wide receiver and the quarterback, they'll go on vacation before the start of the season and they'll work together. I wish English players, not English players, but English sports could do that too. That is one thing I would take away from American sports is the defenders, like Rashford and Garnacho will go play a 2-on-2 with Onana in goal, just, like the attack runs at the defense and then swap over, I wish, they could do that too, rather than just do what Rashford does and trains alone, because it's all well and good training by yourself and shooting and all that. But, if you haven't got the confidence and you're not working with your teammates and your teammates are not as doing what you're doing, then the whole team's not going to do that. So that's something I do like from American sports is they go and do that. But, I personally think, we're going to win 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 this week.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I changed my mind for Tuesday. I thought we were going to lose.
We scored 2. It goes 1-1 at first, and then we'll score the second and kill off the game. Yeah. And it'll be shaky for us to hold that league the entire time.
Yeah.
That's how I feel that how the game's going to shake out is like that. I don't feel like it's going to be a commanding. They have 𝗕𝗏𝗡, they have guys that are there to break up play. They got a couple of center backs there that are some real shit houses. Mm-hmm. And they'll be up for it, bro. You know what? Once again, another team will score a goal and they'll sit back.
Yeah.
And say, oh, we scored an early goal 14 minutes in. Oh, all right, bet. Defend for the rest of it. And you know what? If we can hit them on the break, we will.
That's the thing, though. Like, if they score first, for me, it's like if they score first and they sit back, then everyone's going to be like, well, look how good Man United looks. Look how good they were attacking the whole time. No, it's just because Brentford decided to sit back. So that's kind of where with me. I know you have something to say. And I know, like I said, I want to kind of keep this one a little short. back on Monday. We'll go back to an hour, but I'll let you take over the ending. And
when I first came on here, I was wondering, like, man, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do to, you know what I'm saying? Well, hold on, let me read some of these right here. So, Gunman, shout out to Gunman, enter in the chat. We should win 3-1, but we'll draw 1-1. Blake, better play attitude is necessary. Big Cheese saying, Big She said, I hope the lads are gelling. Yeah, we read that. Whatever works. Exactly, Sean. Yep, 100% agree, Sean. Zoom be Mikey, you need that York shirt. You can't have this. No, my brother. You got to get your own. This one's signed by Dwight York for the Champions League. I think it was that season, actually. But yeah, he signed this one. My wife got it for me for Christmas. I love this thing. I got to get some more for the whole room. But shouts to you. We're going to kill off a game. Mikey has gone mad. Yeah, I feel like we could kill off the game. Oh, hell. Did I say something bad? Bark Cheeseman with the water gun emoji. Okay, so I was going to come on here and I was going to joke around and, like, I got my kid's gun.
Closer to your mic.
Whatever. But I want to go ahead and say this. I apologize for, doing whatever I did on the Tuesday show. You guys are going to see it, but basically I cocked a gun, a prop gun, and that didn't make everybody feel good. So I'm sorry about that. I'm a guy that likes to evoke emotion, and I did that. I got what I wanted, but some people are mad, but other people, okay, decided that they wanted to take it upon themselves to call Manchester United and let them know what we're doing, as if Manchester United knows who the hell I am. As if I've gone to a game in the last 4 years, as if I couldn't buy a ticket on Ticketmaster. Now, I was thinking this whole time, like, man, what am I going to say? What am I going to do to this guy, Steve, man? Steve, you got to leave me alone, bro. You got to leave me alone. You don't control this, bro. You control that little thing you have. I'm actually from Atlanta. I'm an Atlanta Red. I'm from here, okay? And not the Atlanta that you're used to. I'm talking about all Atlanta. Yeah. East side, west side, south side. You know what I'm saying? Places you don't go. You ain't allowed to go, actually. That's where I be at. That's Atlanta. That's the Atlanta I know. I'm everywhere here. So I get to call myself whatever I want. I don't represent you. I have no affiliation to Man United. And this podcast right here has no affiliations to any supporters groups. These are two Reds, and everybody else that's a part of it, they're having their say in whatever they do. I stepped over the line by cocking a gun in a 2A pro state.
Prop gun.
A pop gun. All right? Even though that 380 will hit you in your head and kill you all the same. You know what I'm saying? Not you, but people. All right? But just saying, you don't get to control this, bro. Just like Glenn, you don't get to control this. And I feel like it's the same guys from Manchester who want to gatekeep, right? And want to try and, I don't like what's being said. And I don't like what's being, bro, if you don't like what's being said, turn us off. Start your own thing. Do your own ATL MUFC thing. I'm not with it. I'm not with it, bro. You're not going to censor us. The only reason we took that down is because Casey wanted to take it down. It's on his channel. I'm not going to fight him on that. But calling the LA president, doing all this lame, you have to see me eventually, and you're going to have to answer for it. You're going to have to talk to me about this. And I don't know how I'm going to feel at that moment or respond to it. But it's always the Manchester man, apparently, that have an issue with what we're doing here and want to tell Man United, bro, grow a pair of balls, brother. I hope to not be your age and be a hater. I hope to have my heart pure and clean and let people do their thing. Sean is the president of the Pittsburgh Supporters Group. He didn't say a word. He didn't say a word about it. He thought it was funny. He made fun of me. It was good.
I did make fun of you.
Come on. It was to be made fun of. It wasn't nothing serious. But the guy said I was taunting or threatening officials at Man United. Says I'm unhinged and I'm a radical. Called Casey and all of us idiots. Says he's gonna get me banned from Old Trafford. Come on, bro. You're 65 years old and you have a lot of money. I'm getting there. I'm getting there to where you're getting. I'm getting a lot of money too. It's cool. But you got a lot of money, bro. You got to find other ways than to worry about me, brother. But just know you will see me eventually, brother. And keep that same energy when we meet.
I didn't know you could be a president and live in another country.
The guy's rich, bro. He lives all kinds of places, but apparently he's rich, but I'm living rent-free in his head. God bless.
That's how it
I
always
fear
is,
no
man.
man. I only fear Allah. Remember that.
And I'm just going to say something real quick on that. Don't be, whatever's going on between you and Mikey, is you and Mikey. You do not bring Pittsburgh Reds into this. Do not bring the UnitedFanZone into this.
Don't do it.
These two are two separates, because you don't want issues with me, my man. I'm from the UK, and I'm from Zone 6 in the UK. Don't be doing it. So just leave me alone. Leave the Pittsburgh Reds alone, and leave UnitedFanZone alone. I don't know you. Don't wish to know you. Just leave it alone.
Find something else to do, bro. Find something else to do. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Dissing my boy saying, Blake saying East Atlanta stand up, Zone 6. You know what it is, East Side. Lots of Glens out there. Mark Cheese, Big Cheese saying about to fly across the pond and pull man's skirt up.
Hey, you leave the man's skirt alone, right? I got a man's skirt. It's called a kilt, my man.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, just, get your panties out your ass, bro. Because you know what? One last thing. Because, you're telling us we don't got no views and it hurts your ears, but you still find your way to watch us. I just know that you're not saying all this stuff when I'm in front of you. You're not. You're just talking big now. But we're going to see what's up, bro. That's all. We're going to see what's up. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation.
All right, guys. That's another episode of the United Fan Zone. Thank you, everyone, for checking in today. If you haven't yet, or if you're watching this later, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, or hit the notification button, because those algorithms really mean a lot to the channel to push us forward and to be seen more. So hit the thumbs up and the notifications for us. And if you're new here, thank you stopping. Please hit the subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.
Peace.